Here comes the good part. This is the show where Ohio throws down. It is Ohio is on Fire, and I am your host, Daniel Diesel. Welcome to this Tuesday live broadcast. We are here at WWSU 106.9 FM studios here in Dayton, Ohio, and what a beautiful day it is. This cold weather is finally over. It's about the suntan. It's about putting on your swimming shorts, and it's about the nice ladies. And that's right, springtime, so that makes me happy. But before you enjoy this sunshine that we have, I want you to listen to this show. I'm on for 2+ hours tonight because we are live. I am the one only Mr. Daniel Diesel. But I got a stacked show for you tonight. But because first off, yes, my playlist for tonight is the Dayton Indie Music Madness 2015, Group B. I'm playing 18 new artists tonight. They range from Dayton, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, and Indianapolis, Indiana. It's a part of my 54 artist tournament, and Group B will be played tonight. In fact, all 18 artists and their songs are available right now at Dayton Indie Music Madness. But you get to hear their song live on the radio, which many of you artists out there and the fans of theirs, you've yet to hear their song on the radio. So this is a golden opportunity for many of you artists out there. And of course, if you're good enough, you get enough votes for this contest, you can make it to the championship round. You could even win the whole thing. You could win $400 cash, and at least $400 cash. You could grow bigger, and you could win the national championship title of because you would become the champion of the national indie music scene. That's what I'm offering. I'm laying it down. But anyway, with that, we had Group A last week, so I'll announce that real quick. Our top 5. These 5 artists got enough votes, and they're going to move on to round number 2. And of course, the band that placed the 6th place could still be in it if they had the highest amount of votes among other 6th place finishers. So, 6th place, if you're in 6th place, you're not out of it. But let me get to the top 5. And this is in no particular order, so we'll do it like they do on the reality TV shows. They just they mix it up a little bit. But we got Best for Last, Got You Now. They'll be in round 2. Congratulations to them. Also, we got Send Her Home, When You're Around. So they've made it on. We also got Dirty Socialites and their song Sunshine Madness. They got enough votes to make it on. And also another group that's going to make it on to round 2 is Hazy and the Rugged Child. And last but not least, in fact, this band got the most votes out of all of them with 60 votes last week. Elementary Liberty Project with your song You're Not Ready is going on to round 2. So those are 5 artists so far, and the band that finished 6th place officially out of this group was the Diamond Underground with their song All I Want To. And so they could make it on, but they got to have more votes than the other 6th place finishers. So they keep your fingers crossed, the Diamond Underground band. You could still get in. But congratulations to the other 5 artists. So anyway, I will play the other. And once again, if you have a question for me, if you want to vote for your artist here for Group B tonight, you gotta wait for me to go to commercial because I see the phones are ringing, but I can't get it right now. It's 937-775-5555. So please wait for me to go to commercial, and I'll take your votes. Because tonight I offered this last week and no one took me up on it. But if you call in tonight and vote for an artist, you get that artist gets a double vote. And that could help them go on to round 2. That could be a big difference maker. So please be patient. As you listen to this show, I'll play all the great music. And also tonight, my special guest, Kimberly Weiss. Of course, Kimberly Weiss, she'll be joined by her friends, Jimmy Cummings, who helps her with Music Connection. And also, she's in a band called Killed by Art. And her bandmates, Nathan Goff. I said Golf, and there's no L in it. And then also another bandmate, Todd Paris-Stingill. I think I said that wrong. Todd Paris-Tingill. I'm going to say it right. Todd Paris-Stinger. He can help me. He's going to be here and he can help me. I'm sorry I can't. I'm having trouble with your last name. But anyway, those 4 individuals will be here live tonight. Of course, Kimberly Weiss, she is well known in the music community of Dayton, Ohio. She is quite, I find her as quite the expert. I first met her at the High Five Riot launch party. It was one I went to back in September, which was totally awesome. I met her there, we had a nice talk, and we're friends on Facebook, and she has an interest in this tournament because she first heard about me because of my tournament from last year, and she thinks it's interesting. But so we'll talk about her thoughts on the tournament, and we'll also ask her about Music Connection and her thoughts on music in Dayton and in Ohio in general. I think she's got a lot to say, and her friends, Jimmy, Nathan, and Todd, they have a surprise up their sleeve for me and for the audience at home, so you guys stay tuned for that. There's MVP and final message, where I talk about what planet I would like to go on, because I think the technology is good enough where about 10 years from now we might be at ease, leave this country, leave this planet, not even this country. We can leave this entire planet, and it's an interesting subject. I'll talk about that as my final message tonight. So anywho, yes, but once again, the 5 artists I announced earlier, I'll announce it one more time. And yeah, my computer, here we go. We got Best for Last, Send Her Home, Dirty Socialites, Hazy and a Rugged Child, and Elementary Livity Project. Those 5 are going around too. So we'll see which 5 will join them next in Group B. I did something. I did a few things this past weekend. Of course, this past Saturday was Gym City Comic Con 2015. It was awesome. Of course, I filmed a special Ohio's on Fire roadshow, and it was amazing. I'll try to get that uploaded come late April, because I'm going to try to get through this season first. And after I do this season, I'll try to upload that. I'll try to do a few more special road shows. There's one thing I didn't get on film that you won't see when you watch the video, but something cool happened. One of the artists, Ari Schumer, he does one of the comic books. He's done a lot of drawings, but he was a special guest at Gym City Comic Con. Well, it turns out he proposed to his longtime girlfriend at the event, and the girlfriend is actually a staff member for many at the Gym City Comic Con events, and they got so he proposed to her at his table, and I didn't see it. I wish I did. It sounded awesome. So congratulations to those two. And so that's one thing you won't see on my video, but I went to the cosplay contest. There was a fanboy challenge. I got on top to the top of the Nutter Center and took a picture of everyone down below me. It was wild. I met celebrities, and I met some people in interesting costumes, and I had my panel, had my first ever panels, and I was honored to be there. And that was the 10th Gym City Comic Con, so it's going to keep going strong. They're already announced to come back for the 11th year for next year. It's to be determined, so it's either going to be the last weekend of March, first weekend of April. That's been a tradition for Jess Snowball and his Gym City Comic Con. So I'll look forward to next year. With that, I did something else. On Friday, for the first time ever, I purchased the WWE Network. I subscribed to it, and it's I've heard a lot about it. Of course, I've heard it many times. A lot of my friends are into wrestling. I don't watch as much as I used to, but it's $9.99 a month. I decided to get this past Friday because I was looking at their pay-per-view schedule. WrestleMania was this past Sunday. In addition to me getting WrestleMania for $9.99, they got another pay-per-view, which is like less than a month away. So how I did, I pretty much got 2 pay-per-views under 1 month of subscription. So I went ahead and did it. I don't know if I'll renew, because all I wanted to see was WrestleMania, and I'm quite interested. They do have a lot of content on there. They got the old WCW Monday Nitros. They got what else they have? They got old Monday Night Raws. They got all the pay-per-views of all the major companies that's ever been produced since the 80s, and I'm not kidding. They got every pay-per-view. They like from the very first WrestleMania, they got the Starrcade pay-per-views. From WCW, they got ECW pay-per-views, and they might add more in the future, because from what I heard, they always add more to it. So there's a lot of things I'm impressed with by this network, but there's a lot of things I'm not so impressed with because of this network. I'll tell you what yeah, well, like I mentioned, they got if you love wrestling or if you grew up watching wrestling, for one cheap price you can watch pretty much every pay-per-view. All the big matches happen on these pay-per-views, and you can watch specials. They've done documentaries over the years, so I'm impressed with the original content they have on there and their past library. Now with that, I got to watch two big events, because since I gave this a shot, it was their big WrestleMania weekend. I saw the WWE Hall of Fame on Saturday night, and then Sunday night was WrestleMania. And in the Hall of Fame, it was mostly good. I was impressed. They had Randy Savage, the Macho Man. He finally got into the Hall of Fame. He'd been someone that people wanted in that Hall of Fame for years. He finally got in, and his brother, the Genius, inducted him. So that was awesome. And man, the Genius, he sounds really intelligent. Like his voice, I was hearing him speak. I could probably hear that voice all day. He just he has an eloquent voice. He's very just like Randy Savage. Randy Savage had that deep voice. So something about that family and weird voices. You know, Savage, he was like, "Oh yeah, I've been thinking. I've dropped an elbow on the Hall of Fame. Oh yeah, dig it." All right, that was my Randy Savage. I don't know if that was any good. I'm still working on my Savage impersonation. Anywho, and then also they had Kevin Nash. He was big sexy Kevin Nash back in the 90s. He won a few world titles. He had the Bushwhackers got in. Medusa got in the Hall of Fame. And they had a bunch of people. They had a Japanese wrestler, I forget his name, and I just got waved at by people, so that's good. I forget, Antano Sanaki, I think that's his name. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, he was a Japanese wrestler from back in the 80s. He got in the Hall of Fame. Also, they had a thing called the Ultimate Warrior Award. It was to a fan of the product that lived an incredible life, and that's a fan of WWE's product. And it went to Connor, the Cruiser. He was a 9-year-old boy, and he had a disease, and he died at a very young age. But he was a big fan of wrestling. And the Warrior Award was named after the late Ultimate Warrior, who got into the Hall of Fame last year. He did his speech, and then he was on Monday Night Raw the next night to talk to the crowd. And then the day after, he died. Like, what a story! Like, if not just in wrestling, but in any sports period. Like the Ultimate Warrior, in a span of 3 days, he got popular again. He was on WWE's main television shows. Less than 24 hours, he dies of a heart attack. He's gone just like that. And they made an award in his honor. They had a big statue of him. It's life-size, 6 feet, just like he was. And something else. I mostly liked the Hall of Fame, but what I liked the least about it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. I thought I would enjoy it, but I was kind of annoyed by it. I feel like if this is supposed to be a wrestling Hall of Fame, I feel like mixing wrestlers with entertainers in a Hall of Fame, it's kind of like mixing peanut butter with oil. I don't think there should be a celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame. That's my opinion. It doesn't seem right. Because basically they're fans that got a lot of money. Because they've had a bunch of people in the last several years I didn't care for. I know they put in Drew Carey that one year, and I don't even know what he ever did for them. I guess maybe he's someone's buddy, so he got in. And I like Drew Carey because he's from Ohio, but he doesn't deserve to be in WWE Hall of Fame. I think that was whack. And quite frankly, I think the only celebrity I'd be okay having in a Hall of Fame would be Mike Tyson, because he actually helped with the Attitude Era boom. So I'd make an exception for him. But other than that, Arnold Schwarzenegger getting in was a bad move. I think he's nauseating. I make fun of his voice, but I'm not really that big of a fan of his. I think after that, he had that cheating scandal of his wife, and he had a love child. So I don't know why people still prop him up. And I heard a speech. He said a bunch of things that just blew my mind. But one of the things that caught my attention was when he said that he opened gyms. Like once he started making a lot of money from his movies, he He opened up a string of national gyms. And of course, he has this Arnold Classic in Columbus every year. That's one of his big gyms. I think that's his biggest gym, as a matter of fact. He says that he lets the wrestlers train at his gyms. That's why he needs to be in the Hall of Fame. So that, yeah, that he was listing why he felt like he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame, because he really appreciates wrestlers. I didn't know appreciating something got you in the Hall of Fame. Because you know what, there's a lot of things I appreciate, but I'm not in their Hall of Fame. I mean, I appreciate, you know, a nice grilled cheese sandwich, but the people that make grilled cheese sandwiches had a Hall of Fame. I don't know if I should be in it just because I like it. I think that's crap. And what else? Oh yeah, you know, I appreciate wrestlers too. In fact, I had OKI4, Ohio is for Killers, back on for my holiday special. I've interviewed them twice now. Should I be in the Hall of Fame because I've had wrestlers on my show? Oh, and I tried really hard. That was the other thing Arnold talked about. He talked about how awesome they were, how much he really appreciated, and how he grew up. He bought a ticket to watch matches when he was in France and America. When he was coming up as a bodybuilder, he would watch the matches at Madison Square Garden. And so basically, that's another reason why he should be in the Hall of Fame, because he bought a ticket to watch an event. So I should be in the WWE Hall of Fame also, because I've bought plenty of tickets. Me and my grandpa, we used to go watch Monday Nitro when it came to Hare Arena. We've been to a few Monday Night Raws, as a matter of fact. Me and Grandpa, we went to, I knew the night after WrestleMania 24, they had the one at the Nutter Center. Me and my grandfather went to that one. So, yes, I've been to these live wrestling events. So where's my Hall of Fame ring? I appreciate you. And we are back with Ohio is on Fire. I'm your host, Daniel Diesel. Of course, tonight's episode is commercial free, and I love these commercial free shows, so I forgot to throw that out to you at the beginning of this broadcast. So it's commercial free tonight. And I think it's time to get to everyone's favorite segment. I think it's now time for OMVP, and that stands for Ohio's Most Valuable Pedestrian. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, that's my MVP music. It's amazing. So anyway, MVP goes to someone or a group of people, dead or alive, from the state of Ohio or has connections to the state of Ohio that did something very interesting or something good in a weird way. And these people get honored by OMVP. It means it's a great shout out. It's not a real award, but it means I care about you. So let me get this news article up, because there's always some type of article or explanation linked to our OMVP. This comes from Southington, Ohio. About 50 miles southeast of Cleveland, a mansion sits abandoned, a larger-than-life structure for a larger-than-life personality. In the 1980s, it was home to professional boxer Mike Tyson. The Brooklyn-born Tyson chose the location to be closer to the Orwell, Ohio training facility of boxing promoter Don King, which is about 20 miles north. Tyson returned here after spending 3 years in the early 1990s in prison after he'd been convicted of rape of an 18-year-old beauty contestant, Desiree Washington. The indoor pool is shaped like a boxing glove, according to People magazine. But financial problems in 1999 caused Tyson, who's now 48 and now retired, to sell the 13,000 square foot mansion with almost 6,000 additional square feet in the basement and the surrounding 58-acre property. TV marketer Paul Mania bought it for $1.3 million, according to online records from the Trumbull County Auditor's Office. Mania, who's now 68, never lived there. He was convicted of conspiracy and money laundering charges in 2007 and will remain in prison until 2018, according to the Federal Bureau of Prisons. So anyway, and to get to the story further, Tyson's name is still on the gate, even though he hasn't lived there in years, because it was a custom-made gate. But right now, it belongs to, and it was sold to the sheriff's cell in 2010 to health care interpreter Ron Helmingarn for $600,000 in back taxes. Helmengard, who has never lived there, donated the property to Living World Sanctuary, which plans to turn Tyson's former party pad into a house of worship and youth center. So this guy that owns it now, he's really religious. He's going to let a church group actually use it for their church. There's pictures of this. I guess pictures have been taking this place for years. And the guy that took the picture was Johnny Joe. Or Johnny Jew. And let me say that again. Johnny Jew. Jew is spelled J-O-O. He's 24. He recently received permission to take photographs inside the abandoned estate. He also recorded an interview with Pastor Nick, I can't say it, DiGiacino of the Living World Sanctuary in Warren, Ohio, about the ministry's renovation plans for the property. That's the end of the article there. But just look up Mike Tyson's mansion. It's a big news story right now. But Johnny Jew, they actually interviewed Johnny Jew about how he's able to get pictures. Because for most part, it's private property. Of course, the church is in the process of renovating it, so they're not using it yet as of 2015. They're getting close. And Johnny Jew was able to get in there, and you can check out the pictures. The website I got this from was www.usatoday.com. So go there now. They were taken by Mr. Johnny Jew. But he says, Johnny Jew, not only were you able to get access to Mike Tyson's bachelor pad, not only do you have nice looking glasses, which I can see from the picture of you, not only do you take great pictures, but let me tell you something, Mr. Johnny Jew. You're something else. You are O-M-V-P. And that stands for Ohio's most valuable pedestrian. Ooh, ah, yes. Johnny Jew, go out and celebrate. You're a great picture camera guy. Mike Tyson's pad. So when Mike Tyson, he was, before he bit off Evander Holyfield's ear, he practiced biting on, I guess, whatever he eats. I guess he eats hamburgers. We'll say he ate a big hamburger. He practices biting style, this mansion right here. This is where the magic happened for Mike Tyson. So anyway, that's OMVP. Let's get back to the music on this commercial-free Ohio is on Fire. But let me give you some updates, because this is important. Yes, please vote at Dayton Indie Music Madness for all 18 artists, for whoever you like among the group, and the top 5 move on to round 2, with the band placed in 6th place, possibly getting into round 2 if they get enough votes as a wild card. Up next, we got Lauren Lowe Woods with Head Back. And quick story about him. He's from Fishers, Indiana. He was in a coma for about several months back in 2013. He's been playing music since the mid-70s, since he was a teenager. He was in a coma. People thought he was going to pass away, but he was able to come out of it, and he has made new music, and he's as strong as ever. So quite a comeback story for Mr. Lauren Woods. But he's on this list. And after him, we got MBest 514, electronic dance artist from Springfield, Ohio, with Arrival. And then the defending champion of Dayton Indie Music Madness, Melvin Robertson Jr., a.k.a. Faith Baby. With his song Survivor, he comes out of Dayton, Ohio. And then after that, let's see, the 4th song on the block will be Mariah Haven. In her song, Little Girl Heart. Kimberly Weiss, she is here in the house. And also, she brought some friends with her. We got, we got Jeff. Who's Jeff?
I'm Nathan.
You're Nathan? Yeah, just announce your names. I'm sorry. Jimmy.
And I'm Todd.
And you're Todd. Okay. So they're all here. So welcome to the show, you guys. Say hello.
Hi, Dan. Thanks for having us.
All right. So now, Kimberly, I guess it's for you or anyone that's here. What was the first concert that you ever attended?
I think I was going to hand this one over to my buddy Jimmy over here. He's my partner with Music Connection. Big concert head.
1979, Riverfront Coliseum, Peter Frampton. Bob Welsh opened up for me, man. It was a great show.
All right.
It's still one of the best ones I've ever seen.
Okay. Anyone else?
My first concert was really that I remember going to was Metallica. That was in Atlanta back in '97.
97. Okay. That sounds pretty awesome. I like to have seen Metallica in the 90s, but I was a little child at the time, so...
I wasn't much more than one
I'm really
at
showing
the
my
time.
age.
Those are new.
Back in '79.
Those young upstarts.
Now, let me ask you guys, what made you decide to get into music as a career? Because I know Kimberly, she's been doing this for, she's a music expert, like I've hailed her as a music expert online, and she does a lot of work in the area for Dayton music. I just want to know, I guess Kimberly can answer this first, and the rest can answer if they want, but what made you decide that you wanted a career in music?
Well, I have to thank you right off immediately for calling me an expert.
You
I
are.
would never call myself an expert. I love music, but I think I always fantasized about being doing something in music, being a star, or every kid's dream being a rock and roll star. But I never really thought I would actually have anything that happened as a career. But until about probably the last 5 years or so. And big part of that has been my band, Killed by Art. These guys have both been a huge part of my support team and teaching me a lot about setting up shows and writing music. And so a lot of it was just having some experiences that I had never really had up until now. And in combination with a job that really was creatively frustrating for me, I was feeling like I was just dying inside, and I really felt like there just came a point where I said, I'm tired of wasting time, and I really feel like this is my time to go and actually do something crazy.
From artistic standpoint, I can relate. I think you live this life once. You got to do what you love when you can do it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't really feel like there was many other opportunities than there were going to be right now.
I don't think we really choose to do this as a career. It's kind of a thing that if you don't do it, then you feel kind of less than what you are. So it's kind of choosing.
You kind of forget it actually is a job. It's so much fun to do. You kind of really get paid for it. It's
it's hard to forget it's a job because you hardly ever get paid. So yeah.
Oh well. I don't know about that. Now, how did Music Connection come about? Because I know Kimberly Weiss, she created it, and so what was the story of how that got created and what we see as Music Connection today?
Well, when I decided about 2 years ago to quit my day job and focus on music exclusively, I had 2 bands, and they were pretty different. So I was doing a lot of the booking, and I kept different lists of venues and different lists of bands that each one would play with. And, next thing I know, I'm an organization freak, and I had 200 bands on my list. And I was like, wow, I didn't even try to find those people.
Yeah.
And I was like, within a couple of months, I had 400 bands. And that was still really not even hardly trying. And I was like, if we have 400 bands right now I can find, then we have an amazing community of musicians here. And if people really knew that we had that kind of a level of musicians here, that you can't have that many musicians without having talent.
Maybe I should share that list.
Felt like that. Yeah, I felt like I should share that list with other musicians. That we needed to know that.
Okay.
And that we needed a central place to come together. I couldn't find any central place where we could connect and where the fans could find us. So that's when the idea was born.
Well, it's a wonderful idea, but I gotta ask, are there other cities, like I know with Music Connection, it's a directory for Dayton artists. Did you know of any other cities that had a directory for artists or have found since then?
When I first started, I didn't really look for anything, but as I got into actually creating a directory itself, CincyMusic.com, and I think there's ColumbusLocalMusic.com. Both of those websites have really good listings, but they still don't have directories. As far as I know, I'm the only one providing an actual directory you can download right now.
Okay. Now, one more question about that as a follow-up question. Who's on your staff? I know there's you, and you also have Jimmy Cummings, he helps you. Who else is on the staff for Music Connection?
Well, Jimmy is my official partner and my business development manager. He is working with us and local bands and venues to create some relationships and try and connect some people. And unofficially on my staff is Nathan, who occasionally writes for me and helps me promote. Joel Noggle is also an unofficial member, basically helping me out, promoting. Tommy Johnson of the Dayton City Paper occasionally writes for me.
Awesome. So it's a small little group there.
Yeah.
I was just curious Because I guess, people that look at these websites, they don't know who's behind it all the time.
Most
So
of the
just
time
a little
it's
shout
been
out.
me up until this point.
It's mostly you until...
Yeah, but Jimmy is helping me out tremendously now, and that just recently happened. We hit our 2-year anniversary on the 1st of March, and we officially had made that announcement.
Awesome. Now let me ask you, there's a lot of music festivals in Dayton. I want to ask you, which is your favorite one?
I
And
love.
be honest.
I love the music festivals around Dayton. I have to say I really appreciate what Miami Valley Music Festival does as far as raising money for charities and giving the charities a platform.
Yeah.
I think my favorite one overall has got to be the Wham Bam Thank You Jam.
Wham bam.
Wow.
It's
So what goes on there? I've never heard of
Can't
it.
tell you.
Okay.
well, the first rule is you're not supposed to talk about it.
Oh, no.
No, you can't. It's 3-day music festival. It's a Love of Life production, and it goes from Friday through Sunday with lots of good music, mostly local, regional music.
There's a couple
But
of
it's
Cincy
just a great
bands
party.
A lot of love.
It's right across the
Love
street
Fest.
from the
It's a
state
Love Fest.
park.
Love Fest, okay.
We have
From what park?
It's Houston Woods State Park.
Houston Wood State Park, okay.
It's great. There's a lot of swimming and frisbee and dancing and bonfires and extracurricular
Fireworks
fun.
and fire people.
I'll make note of that. This sounds fun.
Oh, it's a blast.
I've yet to hear of it.
Wham Bam and Miami Valley Music Fest are probably 2 of my favorites too, but we definitely have also enjoyed Sideshow and Dayton Music Fest and a couple other ones from time to time.
Now, in your opinion, is there too many music festivals in the Dayton area?
That's I think that would be pretty hard to say that there's too many. Between the number of musicians that we have, how much music has become embedded in part of Dayton's culture, I think that would be pretty hard to have too many.
Dayton
Okay.
is historically a musical town,
Yeah.
and as long as we have the community support to do a blues festival and a reggae festival and some jam festivals, then why not?
Well, most of the promoters too work with each other. They don't try to step on each other's toes. They start working on things, in February, so they don't schedule on top of each other, and that makes a big difference.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, they do seem to work together pretty nice. So I don't hear a lot about conflict. Now, with that being said, is in your opinion, should we have a Dayton Music Awards if there isn't one already?
Me personally, when I started out on Music Connection, I started out with this idea that I was going to have a Band of the Year contest.
Okay.
And we got a lot of traffic from that, and I think a lot of people probably got some exposure from that, but it also created a lot of real discontent. It's really hard to create a contest that actually engenders creativity and positive feelings just in general. Somebody ends up coming out on top, but maybe there's 25 people who got basically stomped on somehow, and or at least felt like they did, or felt like.
I imagine, yeah.
And so, I mean, for me, after that, I pretty much took a tack with Music Connection of trying to create a situation where we can all say, hey, we all love music. It doesn't matter what these differences are, whether you play covers or I play originals, or you play metal or I play jazz. None of that matters. We all love music, and if we came together and we sat down, we could probably build something really, really cool. So it would have to be a really special contest for me to say yeah.
I think it would be a great thing to acknowledge big accomplishments in the area.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to kind of competitive art, I kind of agree with Kimberly. It's a shame to think you have kind of comparing apples and oranges just because you like the bananas best.
Yeah.
Does that necessitate that there are 11 losers necessarily,
Music by its nature is such a quantitative thing. It doesn't really lend itself to what's better than something else.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to wrap your brain around. The song remains the same is better than something from a punk band. It's really crazy
Yeah,
to
if
even
you
try
keep
to do
it
that.
fun.
If you could recognize somebody's accomplishment,
Yeah.
that's one thing. But to say this is better than another, that's kind of
I think the trick is
To be positive and not take it too seriously.
I think competition has a pro and con. Like,
Absolutely.
it's fun to watch, like to watch tournaments and stuff and awards. Because I played sports when I was younger, there is that winner and loser mentality. Like, it's the worst thing in the world to lose, and if you're in a position where you might lose, someone would get you really upset.
Mm-hmm.
I know one person that takes his award seriously in the music world would be Kanye West. Like, he's the only one I hear that he just like whenever it doesn't go his way, he was like, yeah, they get it, got it wrong, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
a little too seriously for sure.
But no one else in music other than him, no one else really takes it all that serious. So I guess it's just a different platform. I guess music is. How's that work? What's the philosophy in music about winning awards?
I think there's all kinds of philosophies in music. That's pretty. I have my own philosophy, but there are all kinds of philosophies and styles and ways of doing things. Thank God for diversity.
Amen.
Yes, absolutely. Now I want to ask you this. This will be the last question before we go to a music break. Where would you rank our Dayton music scene compared to all the others we have in this country? Like a top 100, where would you rank it?
Oh, I'd definitely put it myself. I'd put us somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
I think.
I've kind of traveled a little bit more. That's why Kim asked me to kind of take this question. I've ever since a bout of homelessness as a teenager, I was able to travel around the country a little bit, and and it's different area. Regionals have different things they're into. Jazz, upstate New York, Southern rock in Colorado, Texas. They all have their own feel. But as far as a scene, there's always a scene, and there's always a group of musicians, and how we behave towards each other in Dayton, I think, is somewhat unique, because as soon as you meet another musician, you feel a kindred bond with that person, and I think that's kind of unique to our area, and I like to think so.
Awesome.
I know at least in this area, Dayton's music scene is outstanding. I've heard a lot of musicians who move away to Columbus or Cincinnati or Detroit even and say, I wish I knew what I had in Dayton,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, for me, like I said, I haven't traveled as much as maybe some other people have, but I probably haven't seen nearly enough shows. But just from what I've done within my project, and what I've seen and heard from other people, it seems like we are somewhere in the middle. We're always going to be out-trumped by cities like LA or Chicago or Boston, obviously, for obvious reasons. But we have so many, like I said, so many musicians, and they're of every genre. You can find every genre here.
I agree.
And it's not like that in every city. And there's quality musicians in every genre and quality bands.
I actually agree with that,
and
yes.
that's really hard and a unique thing to find here. And I hope a lot more people decide to come and seek out what Dayton has to offer. And right now we've got great cost of living. And, you can get by pretty decent if you're a good musician. You can eke a living out here. It's tough, and you might have to work really, really hard. But if you've got a backup plan, hey, come on over.
Go for it.
Hang with us.
I see no
Do it.
reason Dayton couldn't be at least as well known a music city as some of those Tennessee towns with only a couple of genres.
Yeah.
If it were marketed correctly, this could easily be a music destination.
And that's kind of the goal of Music Connection, is really to, like I said earlier, is kind of bring us all together and use the fact that we are a community of quantity and talent, and use that collective power together so that metal can help bluegrass, and we can be recognized as a city, and then people will come here, and then we'll have people to play to, and it'll be a cycle that continues to grow and get better and bigger.
Well, I hope so, yes. We have true diversity in Dayton. I do agree with that sentiment right there. Now, Kimberly, who's the lead vocals for the band Killed by Art, along with her bandmates, we got, Nathan Goff, and then Todd Penstengill. Hope I said it right. They're 3 of the 6 members. The entire band ain't here, but 3 of the members, they got a special treat. It was a surprise to me. I found out this the day before, and it's a surprise to you at home. They got a song they want to perform to you. It's a live acoustic version of Thread. So, without further ado, Killed by Art and their acoustic a version of the song Thread.
I just need to feel that someone's here with me. Most illusions scare me, and I don't know. See what's real. It's twisted up in time. Just one step out of line. All these big thoughts haunt me, and I have only myself to blame. Do you feel like me all alone? Does it seem so hard letting go? And after all this time's turned into many years, I used to look with wonder. Now I look with fear. Nothing is the same. Do you really know when you step into the world? All the faces you see, they don't have a clue, just like you. Look what you've become. Would past friends recognize? You see them so clearly, but would they deny it's you? Would they understand you're all alone? Does it seem so hard letting go? And after all this time turned into many
Awesome. Yes, let me I got to clap for that. Yes. Thank you very much for that. I am honored that was an awesome performance. All right. Yes, that was members of Killed by Art. Of course, Kimberly was on vocals, and then the instruments was Nathan and Todd. It's 3 out of the 6 members. They wanted me to mention that. The other 3 couldn't make it. I don't know what happened. They're listening at home or they're doing other things. I know people are busy, but shout out to the other members of Killed by Art. Cool beans.
We miss you guys.
Yes. So yeah, we got some more questions. First off, we got a fan question that I got by phone. His name is Zach. He wants to know: can you quantify as being a music artist for those that listen to you and have no music ability whatsoever? And I hope I asked that the best way. I was confused by how he asked it. And I think that's what he meant. How do you quantify for those that don't have music ability? How can you relate to them?
You mean how much? I mean, quantify means how much something contains, and how do you assign a value to it? So we'll speak to
to those that don't have music ability.
Yeah, we'll speak to Zach's what he believes to be his inability to play music.
That's first. That's not. A lot of people say I wasn't born with that.
But really, everybody can play. They just have to practice.
Right.
And they have to really want it. I believe everybody is a musician. I believe it's a human condition, not a musician condition.
All right.
So
that needs to be on a shirt. That was awesome.
Well, you got to be a pretty big guy where it's like that.
Yeah, a lot of people say they're not born with it, and I think, well, you have a heartbeat in your ear, and your feet tap as you walk, and it's just a matter of what you do with it. We didn't pick up the guitar the first day, and it sounded like that. It takes a little time to do anything. And even if they don't think they can play music, I'm sure a lot of people have visual art skills or
they
acting
can recognize
skills. Or
good talent.
There's art in lots of things besides music.
And find an instrument that you like and practice, 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 practice. There's no substitute for it. And
of course.
Athletics, anything you do, practice, practice, practice. Muscle memory.
All right, and I got a comment. Kimberly, I think you might know this person. His name's Donnie Rose.
Yes.
He says right on. So he just wants you to know, he wants to say right on.
He's a talented lead guitarist with Kimberly and I in the band Far From Eden.
Okay.
That's the other band I was mentioning that I am in earlier.
Yes, Far From Eden, yes.
And we have been having a blast with that crew as well.
Awesome.
Right on, Donnie.
All right. Once again, I got a lot of telephone calls. I appreciate it. You got to wait till I go to commercial. I'm not able to take phone calls while I'm on the air, so give me this segment should probably be another 6 minutes, roughly. I'm just guessing, and you can call and make your votes for artists for Dating Any Music Madness. I appreciate the love. This has been great. So just hold off for a few minutes for all that is calling right now. So anyway, I got a few more questions of my own. But thanks for once again, thanks to Zach and of course to Donnie for the questions and comment. Now, I want to know, you guys perform and you guys have partnerships with other promoters. What do you think is the key to promoting a good concert or festival based on personal experience?
To promoting a good concert?
Yes, promoting a good concert.
Oh, well, definitely time is key. You have to have the time and be able to prepare. You have to have somebody who has a good, solid idea in their head of what they want this concert to be, and that they can lead really well. If they're not doing it all on their own, that they can show other people exactly what they want. You have to have really good talent, but it's definitely, the hard work. You got to put your flyers out, and you have to do your events, and you have to call and talk to people, and you have to go and network.
Yeah,
that's a huge part of it. It's just a lot of bands, I think, may have some trouble finding other bands to play with, but they don't go out and socialize. They don't go out and see other bands, and I think that's a huge part of it. You have to be in the scene to become part of the scene. So if you're not getting shows, or if you're not able to book the shows that you want, you need to start going to those places and show your personality, make your presence known, and talk to people. Talk a lot.
Absolutely.
And communication is the key, I think, especially between the promoter and the bands.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's definitely a huge part of it as well.
Who's your favorite music promoter that's based in Dayton, Ohio? This is for anyone to answer.
Personally, this is Nathan. I like the work that has been done at Odd Bodies, formerly McGuffey's this year. It's a really good group of guys has bought one of Dayton's historic music venues, McGuffey's, and turned it into renovated it and upgraded it slightly, and are doing a great job both with locals and nationals, and I really appreciate what they've been doing for all genres there. Good metal shows, good jam shows. Yeah, I think
we
they're
had
doing
the
a great
privilege to
job.
play there a few weeks ago, and it was a food drive of hunger relief, charitable concert, and there a lot of great bands came together. And the sound in the place, even though it was for a charity, Odd Bodies didn't skimp. They did a really good job of making sure everybody that was there had a good time, and everybody sounded good. And there was a lot of people, so it was really nice to see them not skimp on a charity.
And they definitely do a good job promoting their shows. Nielsen Hickson has been doing pretty much all of their booking and handling all the contacts with musicians, and I've heard nothing but wonderfully positive things, and we've never had anything but wonderfully positive experiences with him. So he's in a band, in a local band called the Reefer Hut, and they so he's got experience. He knows what the bands are dealing with and what they're looking for. So
Go see a show at Odd Bodies.
we love Odd Bodies.
Odd Bodies,
And I
all
also
right.
want to give a quick shout out to Gretchen doing the booking over at Oregon Express.
Awesome.
While we're on that subject, if you don't mind, I'd like
Go
to
ahead.
give a shout out to one of my favorite promoters ever in the Dayton area, Mick Montgomery.
Oh,
I've heard of him. Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah, former owner of Canal Street Tavern. Real nice guy, and got to know him pretty well over the last few years, and I want to give a shout out to him. Love you, Mick.
We're still hoping to do some work with him too.
for sure.
It's coming up.
Yeah, shout out to Mick. I don't know if he's listening, but shout out to him anyway. Now with that, we're almost done with the segment. Now what's coming up for Kimberly? You're in 2 different bands. Of course, you got your music connection. What's in store for your bands, Far From Eden, and of course, Killed by Art? Yeah, let's talk about your bands first. What's in store for those 2 bands for next, over the summer and
We've
such
got
and such?
a lot of great stuff coming up. Far From Eden will be playing the Yellow Springs Street Fair at
All right.
Metta's Cafe. We'll be there all day for Street Fair on June 13th.
All right,
And
that's news to me.
We'll have a bunch of other shows. We're actually playing next week, this Saturday at Z's in Picklip. So we'll be out there this weekend playing an acoustic set. And we'll have a bunch of stuff coming up in June. I think we're actually even playing a book signing in June.
Yes.
Kill by Art also has a ton of great stuff coming up. We'll be back at Wham Bam again this fall. Yes.
Wham Bam, all right.
Bam!
And that's a quick shout out for those guys.
We have another great show with Killed by Art at the Oregon Express with
Absolutely.
one of our favorite area bands, the Chakras from
That's
Cincinnati.
May 30th.
They
And
say, okay.
we're also at Club Kill by Art. We'll also be at Club Panama on April 11th in Springfield. So
Okay.
we've got a lot of great stuff coming up this summer, and if people are interested in what we're doing, they can obviously follow us online. Both of those bands have pretty unique names and are pretty easy to locate, and hit the old like and follow buttons.
All right, one last thing for you, Kimberly. What can we expect at Music Connection right now? And do you have anything in store for the next several months?
We have all kinds of stuff in store. We
know.
just launched, as of March 1st, along with my partnership with Jimmy, we launched a mobile app on Android. It's a free mobile app on Android, and we should be upgrading that to include iPhone users, and so that'll be something come up here in the next month or so. And we also launched W937 Dayton Radio, which is a 24/7 online, local music only, brought to you just for you.
Cool.
We wanted to make sure that people could actually hear some of these bands, and we now have over 900 tracks, and I think I was well over 200 or 300 different artists. It's music past and present. So if you are a musician, you are an artist, happen to be listening, you have music, please get a hold of us. We would love to have it on our show.
W937.
W937 Dayton Radio.
Oh boy. Okay.
A little bit of competition.
I realize.
If you're listening to Dan, though, don't tune into us.
Yeah.
We're here 24/7.
Yeah, wait another half hour. We got a pretty good thing going on right now. But I want to end on something else. You guys also have, like, when an artist releases new material, you have that posted like by year, which I find that's pretty cool because I've checked out the website. So if you want to know if your favorite artist from Dayton, Ohio is releasing new music, just visit Music Connection. They do better at that, I think, in the other Dayton, because I think like places like Active Dayton, they don't talk about it till like a month later if other people have told them about it, but they're on it. I was impressed you guys are on it with release dates. And we are back with Ohio is on Fire. I'm your host, Daniel Diesel, and once again, thank you to Kimberly Weiss. And I said her last name wrong a lot. I thought it was Weiss, and she informed me that most people, for most last names, are spelled like that is Weiss, but it's Weiss. So I corrected it, so I'm happy I did that. And thank you to her bandmates for coming. And thank you for everyone that's called tonight for Dayton Indie Music Madness. Now with that, it's tonight's final message. I want to talk about going to the moon, going to outer space. I know we got technology nowadays. I know we're working on the technology where we can just leave where we're at and go to the moon, or go to any other planet for that matter, because I know we had an experiment where we went to Mars, and there's Pluto, Jupiter, and all that good stuff, and Venus. Oh yeah, Venus. I tell you what, I want to go to Venus, and when I get to Venus, I will stand tall, because that's what you do on a planet that's made of gas. You stand tall. So thanks for that. And what else? I like the idea. If our technology gets good enough, I love the idea of going out to outer space, if you will. They got prototypes of how this would work. I forget the website, but it's like a miniature rocket. Be half the size of the rockets that we use now to do outer space experiments. But people could just hop in, bug up their seatbelt, lean their seat back. They didn't have enough rocket fuel, and they blast off in the sky, and there you are. They're in outer space. I can just imagine little Daniel Diesel, like I'll ever have a kid, and it's 20 years from now, and this becomes available, and he's in a little rocket. I'd be like, little Daniel, come down here. Come down back to Earth. It's time for dinner. I see myself doing that. That'd be awesome. And I think if you had the ability to get to outer space, it could solve a lot of problems, as a matter of fact. Because there's a lot of, you hear on the news, there's a lot of shootings, killings, a lot of drama, and people just want to escape. I think if people were stressed out, going to outer space would be a good stress reliever. I can imagine my mother getting into an argument with her boyfriend. She'd be like, if you don't quit nagging on me, I'm leaving this. I'm leaving this planet. I'm going to Mars. You better leave me alone. I'm going to Mars. I can just see that argument going on right now. And that's what happens. Anyone threatens me, Daniel Diesel, I know exactly what I'm going to do. And you know what? I want one of those little rocket launchers they were talking about. I want a well, I said the rocket launcher. I meant little rocket. There's a difference between a little rocket and a rocket launcher, or a pad launcher. I don't know what they're called. I know I'm talking off my head here, but I've talked about before where you strap it on your body, and then there's like remote control, and you lift yourself up in the air, and voila, you're high up in the air. Michael Jackson did this a long time ago at a concert back in '92. I saw this, and I was like, how'd he get that? He just strapped his rocket on to himself, and he took off. He just disappeared from sight. And I want to do that. Can I do that? I just want to disappear with my little rocket pad and just go to the moon. And it'd be an awesome vacation. And in fact, that's another development they're doing right now. Because being on the moon, you have to be wearing those suits because it's a different breed of air up there. Your head would explode if you breathed it without a mask. Because us humans were made of oxygen, and without lacking oxygen up there, we would all die pretty quickly. So they're working on a way to make it so we can have a bigger suit or make a little bubble where we can walk around in and have our little moon adventure. So in the year 2030, you and your family save up, because by the time 2030 hits around, we will have this technology available. You can take a trip to Mars, check out the red planet, see if there was life on Mars after all, and then you can go to the space cafe. I'm sure they got food up there in outer space, where you can grab a rock that comes by, eat it. It'll probably rip your teeth apart, but who cares? You're in outer space. So, I'm all for it. I'm just kidding around, but if it's possible, I mean, we invented the airplane. Once upon a time, that was thought to be impossible. And got waved at, shout out. And the airplane happened, and I think individual trips to outer space is possible. And you know what? Forget the moon, forget Mars, forget Venus. I don't want to go to those places. I want to go someplace even higher. I want to go to the sun. I want someone to take me higher. Higher into the sun. Alright, that was an inside reference to Ren and Stimpy. If you didn't get it, my apologies. That was probably a really lame joke, but if you knew what I was talking about, then you're laughing right now. It was my homage to Ren and Stimpy. And yes, I jump on my giant fly, because that's how it was Stimpy. Stimpy had gone up there. Or was it? I don't know who it was. I forget. I've got the two mixed up. Yeah, I want to go to the sun. I want to walk on the sun. I want to get a tan on the sun. I want to grill my burgers and have a barbecue burger. And I want to live on the sun. I want to go to a place where everything melts, where the sun shines all the time. That's where I want to go. And if I did that, Ohio would truly be on fire. All right, until next Tuesday night, we'll have Gary R. Henry, which it's 8 o'clock. I'm on every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. And once again, you have until 11 o'clock to vote for your favorite artist. Yeah, all 18 artists. I'll give a rundown. Of course, up next, I'll play. I got 3 more artists I got to play yet. I'll announce those now. We got Robert Watson, returned for his second stint on Day and Ending Music Madness. He competed last year. And I'm going to play this song, Funky Universe. And then after that, I'll have Room for Zero with Come On, Come On. And then Rumpke Mountain Boys and their song Something to Say. It's from their album Moon. And they're from Cincinnati, Ohio. And vote for these 18 artists. Vote for the following. You got Kenny Bryant. You got Kelly Ritchie. Kill the Epidemic. LED Streets. Lauren Low Woods. MBAS 514. Melvin Robertson, a.k.a. Faith Baby. Then vote for Mariah Haven, New Regrets, Nice Guy Eddie, Olivia Francis, The Part-Time Gentleman, Pickwick Commons, Coronic, Red Hot Rebellion, Robert Watson, Room for Zero, and Rumpke Mountain Boys. So until that, Ohio, that's the way it is.